Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new chapter in chemistry, which is chemical chain and reaction, given in chapter 2. Students, this chapter will be very important for you as you will be learning different types of reactions involved and the observations on the basis of the reactions taking place. So this chapter is very important. You should learn many important terms from this chapter, and you'll also come to know how the reaction takes place and how can we observe the things being changed during the reaction. So when we talk about chemical change, what is this chemical change? You have already studied that chemical change is a permanent change. But only writing this much will not be enough, as you have to mention something more in it. So altogether in detail we can say chemical change is a permanent change in which chemical composition of a substance is changed and the new substance with new chemical composition and new properties are formed. So old chemical compositions of a substance taking part in a chemical change will be changed altogether, and you can see a new substance is forming. So we are getting a new substance with entirely a new chemical composition. Now this chemical change in any substance is due to the chemical reaction that takes place. That's why in this chapter you can say it is chemical change and reaction. So it is altogether due to the chemical reactions that will bring about chemical changes in a substance. So what is this chemical reaction? You can say chemical reaction is the process of breaking of the old substance, breaking of the bond of the old substance and formation of new bond, which results in the formation of new compounds or new substance. So chemical reaction is nothing but it is the process of breaking and formation of the bonds. In this chapter we are going to study about the conditions that are necessary for the chemical reaction or chemical change to take place. So here we have the conditions for a chemical change. And we can start with the first condition, that is mixing, which also means close contact. Close contact. So there are some chemical reactions which requires a close contact between the reacting substance. If the substances are not mixed properly in a solid state, you cannot obtain any change in it, and so no new substance will be formed. So there are some cases where the substances are to be brought in close contact with each other. For example, reaction between potassium iodide, which is in a solid state, when reacts with lead nitrate, which is also in a solid state. Now when these two solid states are mixed together, of course for mixing the two together you have to crush the substances so that they can come in close contact with each other, and on doing so we find new substances are formed, and the new substance so formed will be Pb(I2), that is lead iodide, and plus potassium nitrate, KNO3. Again both will be in a solid state only. Of course we have to balance it. So for balancing we can put 2 and 2 over here. So this is the best example where you find that until and unless the two reacting substances are in close contact, the reaction will not be formed. Reaction will not take place at all. But the question comes here that how will you know or come to know that you have got a new substance? It can be made out by using or with the help of the change in the color. Because initially when we took these two substances, they were looking white in color. Both are white in color. You might have seen common salt. The appearance of these two salts are also just like our common salt only, which is white in color. Now the moment the reaction begins, we find there is no more white color in it. We have got a new color, and the new color will be yellow color. So it is due to the change in the color we have come to know that you got a new substance altogether. And here the new substance is lead iodide, that is PbI2. We can say with the help of the change in color that there is chemical reaction taking place when the two substances are brought in close contact. Now let us see second condition which is required for chemical reaction to take place. Second condition is solution. That is, the reacting substance should be in a molten state or should be in an aqueous solution. So unless the solution is not made and if the substances are kept in a solid state, sometimes on bringing close to each other, even in a solid state the reaction might not take place. So in that case you have to prepare the solution first and then we can observe some change in it. Like example, we have sodium chloride, make an aqueous solution, and plus silver nitrate, AgNO3. We have taken an aqueous solution. Aqueous means we are obtaining solution on adding this salt into water. So dissolve the salt into water, get one solution, again dissolve in another test tube. You can dissolve sodium chloride in water, get another solution, and then mix the two solutions. You will find a new change taking place, and you can observe what change will be here. You will be getting a new substance that will be AgCl, silver chloride, and this silver chloride will be a precipitate, a white color precipitate. Solid state, precipitate will be in a solid state, and we will be getting another substance which will be sodium nitrate, NaNO3, which remains in the solution in an aqueous state. So once again we can see sodium chloride and silver nitrate both are colorless solution, but once we mix the two in a solution state, we find a white precipitate of silver chloride is formed along with sodium nitrate. See, you can be asked here a question based on observation, like what do you observe when an aqueous solution of sodium chloride is mixed with an aqueous solution of silver nitrate? So your observation will be that a white precipitate of silver chloride is formed. Now we'll be coming to the third condition. Coming to the third conditions, there are some reactions which occurs only when it is heated. So the third condition is heat. That is only on heating there will be chemical change taking place or chemical reaction starts. We have a very common example of copper carbonate in a solid state. This salt is black in color, green in color. Now when you heat it, we find this is the sign of heat. A small triangle sign above the arrow mark is the sign of heat. So when we heat copper carbonate, we find copper carbonate decomposes, it breaks, and we get two different substances. Substances are copper oxide, of course will be solid in color, which looks, it is in a solid state and looks black in color. And along with, we will be getting carbon dioxide, which is in a gaseous state. We can take another example like lead nitrate, NO3(2). Again heat it. This is white in color. When we heat it, you will obtain lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide and also oxygen gas. See what color of products we are getting here. Lead oxide is yellow color and it is a gas, nitrogen dioxide, which is reddish brown gas. It is reddish brown color. And oxygen gas, as you know, is a colorless gas. So these are again two very common examples which is carried out only when it is heated. So we have some more conditions for chemical reaction to take place, chemical reaction to occur, and that we'll see in the next class. Thank you.